Hey everybody, it's Old Fart, your old buddy. How you doing? Most of you regulars here know that I've had a $10,000 contest running for some time now for anyone who can validate the magic of Christianity described in the Bible without using the Bible. Nobody's won yet, by the way. Big surprise. But the purpose of this video is not to insult anyone of faith, but merely to expose a charlatan.
A follow-up to our good friend Old Fart Rants Moron Award to a kook, a religious kook. And all religion was created by man. That's just a simple fact. But religious kooks want to use their own kookery, as it were, their own dogma, to prove their own dogma, which is the most circular reasoning you can ever have. And the reason that occurs is very simple. There is absolutely and undeniably no proof or evidence for the existence of any gods. None. No proof, none whatsoever. Proof is a very definable, quantifiable thing. Now, that's why we have science. Science is able to tell you that air is there, air is around you, even though you can't see it. And it can be demonstrated very easily just by watching smoke in the air. Then you can see that it's obviously it's floating on something, or appears to be. All it is a gas expanding and then equalizing with the rest of the atmosphere. It's a very simple principle, and you can observe it, and that's how you have real proof or evidence that that particular phenomena is occurring, or has occurred, or will occur. These are definable things. Religion isn't like that. It's not, at all. And the people who believe in whatever religion they believe it for their own reasons. There's no proof. They don't believe it for proof, based on evidence or proof. They believe it because of their own opinion. Now, in Old Fart Rant's video, he very carefully dissects this kook's habit, an unusual habit of self-delusion.
If you want to see a classic, self-absorbed, bloviated asshole in action, you can go read them for yourself. But I'll do a quick recap, and you'll get the gist of it. First, he says, I should run my contradictions by Christian apologist J.P. Holding, because he's already pre-debunked many of my zingers. So I tell him I already have a contest for anyone who thinks they can validate Christianity's magic with a $10,000 prize, and to just tell Mr. Holding to go for it. And since no one in history has ever been able to do it, good luck. So he says, first, he must ask me a few questions and record my response just in case I try to move the goalpost. He wants to know if I think Homer's Iliad was seriously redacted or close to its original form. What the fuck? Talk about moving the goalpost.
It's actually a form of mental illness, that they're unable to realize, acknowledge, or accept that they have no proof for their claims. None. Now, again, proof is demonstrable. Old Fart Rants made some comment about his pool. It happens to be a simple fact that he lives in a beautiful location, a very, very beautiful home, and has a swimming pool, a very nice blue swimming pool. That's not up for debate. And there's actually proof of that, and here it is.
Easter Sunday, 2010, Los Angeles, California. After a huge earthquake down in Baja, Mexico, the earthquake has stopped, but the water in the pool has not stopped. Look at the power of an earthquake. Now, this was a 6.9 earthquake several hundred miles south of Los Angeles, down in Mexicali, Mexico. And it lasted about 35 or 40 seconds, a very strong but gentle rolling motion. And when the earth stops moving and the water doesn't, this is what it looks like.
aside from the obvious fact that he can back up his claim. In fact, he didn't even claim it. He just kind of said it in passing. And the kook, the religious kook, latched onto this for some reason. He has a habit of projecting. So he projects his own situation, which is a very meager one from what we have ascertained. He projects his situation onto everyone else. So he makes some comment about Old Fart Rants not having 10 cents.
I remind him that no secular evidence to validate the Bible exists, and I offer him $10,000 if he can prove me wrong. So he accuses me of avoiding the question and says he took a screenshot of my answer. Ooh! And he asked me about Homer's Iliad again, says I'm senile, and he's going to back me into a corner, and says I don't have 10 cents.
Which is just stupid. It's irrelevant, and there's, again, this guy, this kook, and he calls himself something kook. It doesn't matter, it's insignificant, but he actually asks, trying to ask a question in order to deliver proof, which is absurd. Imagine that. What the kook has done, which is hilarious. The kook says the funniest thing ever, because it has nothing to do with the actual question, or the challenge, provide evidence that God exists without using your dogma, which isn't evidence, or nor is it proof. It's just a fable and a fantasy. But here you can see how Old Fart Rants goes back and forth with this nut, with this kook, about either offer proof or move along.
So he says, I have odd things on my mind, that my query is philosophical, not historical, and he still wants an answer about the magic of cleaning symbiosis and whether I think Amenemhet existed. And he tells me again that he saved all my comments. Hey, guess what, pal? So did I. So I tell him again, I've already explained my position, but I'll explain it again. No one has ever produced any real evidence to validate Christianity, which is why there are still competing religions today.
This guy asks some question about Agamemnon. Agamemnon has nothing to do with it. He's completely dumb. He's offering nothing of substance. Again, if you make a claim that you have a beautiful brand new Cadillac, pearl white Cadillac, then you'd show proof of that. Concrete, undeniable proof. Like this.
Ooh. This article here?
Yeah, she wrote all of them.
Well, that one I did. I obviously have an editor, so it's never the same. But all the ones I brought with me.
What about?
Religious people who are really dogmatic, fanatics, they're nuts. They're not worth dealing with. They can't hold a reasonable thought. They're not able to apply reason or logic or understand things in reality. So they create obstructions. Like this guy wants to know what Old Fart Rant's sock size is before he offers evidence, which he doesn't have. There is no evidence. Like, you make a claim that you have a motorboat, a speedboat, and you water ski a lot. You know, if someone pressed you on it, you could show proof, like this. Yeah. Ski through. Throw me a cheeseburger. Oh, that is so funny, though. Great little shore. Look at all these ducks. They're really enjoying themselves. Look at that. So, very simply, the idea is if you make a claim of something, especially something as remarkable as I know Jesus has long hair and wears thrifty sandals and he likes to hang out at the beach club in Santa Monica and his favorite water is Perrier, which he turns into a Cabernet. The ideas behind religion are so stupid. It's for people who are weak, cowardly. They're terrified. They're terrified of life, and they need something to cling to, and that's understandable. But it's just like believing in Zeus or Apollo or some other mythical religion. You can't use the book to prove the book. Men in Black. Men in Black isn't a movie. It's a documentary. I mean, look at it that way. And that's the Bible. It's just something created by men on earth. Read religion, too. There are specific segments like this one that shows how Jesus actually has people who don't believe in his exact opinion of things murdered right in front of him. I mean, these are really disgusting things. This is aberrant behavior. It's maladjusted. And anyone who believes this stuff is created in some ethereal way, you got some heavy problems. So again, without belaboring everything here, belaboring every point that only insane people are dogmatic Christians or Muslims or whatever, that it's for loonies, the simple fact of the matter is either provide absolute proof, evidence, outside of your dogma. Like if you're going to prove a scientific theory, it has to actually pertain to reality, and it has to be demonstrably provable through evidence. Then it will be accepted as a fact. Simply put, which Old Fart Rants covers perfectly, if any religion were true, it would be the only one. There would be no argument. But even within Christianity, you have Lutherans, Methodists, Protestants, Presbyterians, Southern Methodists, Baptists. It goes on and on. You guys, even these idiots can't decide on their own idiocy. It's just like the difference between Zeus or Apollo. You guys can argue it infinitely. But the one thing you can't do is provide any real proof. And that's what makes you so dumb. Until you have proof, you should be questioning it. But you don't. You're subjects of it, victims. And that's sad. You're really sad. But again, proof is proof. Either provide it or move along.
So I tell him for the 10th time, if he can provide secular evidence to validate Christianity, to just put up or shut up.
End of lesson.